And the home camp has turned to night for some reason. I still have no clue if the time at the camp is determined by the level we're supposed to go to next, or the time of day when you're playing the game. You'd think I'd figure that sort of thing out by the time we got to the 28th time I've deployed in this game. What does it matter if there's wind when the moon is out? I'm sure that might sound cool, but I'm just not feeling it here. I'm assuming they're talking about Shiggy, the boss we fought a few clips ago. Wait, he's starting a war for the sake of distributing drugs? Not for the sake of trying to become a more dominant force in Japan and trying to unite the country under his rule? I mean, sure, not every daimyo had the ambition to take the entire country, but still, that just feels off somehow. Oh god, this environment! On the one hand, it's a change of pace considering we rarely come to this forest, but on the other hand, dear god, it isn't as fun as the places with buildings and walls to use to our advantage. It's not impossible to work with, just not a place I feel especially enthusiastic for dealing with. Well, at least we've managed to avoid getting spotted so far. Maybe I've just gotten more used to the bastard since the last time we were in this forest, or maybe the patrol patterns aren't as annoying as they were in that previous trip through here. Not the best one-on-one encounter with someone fighting back against us, but again, this series really doesn't encourage us to do a lot of straight-up fights. Okay, so we've got no way to grapple to the other side. Only way across is the bridge. If the enemy had any sense, they'd have at least one person constantly staring at that bridge all times. But maybe that's just a bit too intelligent for them to manage. Definitely feels like I'm doing better here now than the last time we ran through this map. Well, that person doesn't register on our detection system, which probably means that's our objective. Okay, when did our partner show up here? Seriously, don't act like we're always working with him when the only times we ever see him are cutscenes. Granted, that wasn't as obnoxious as the time he should have been helping us in that boss fight with Shiggy, but still, I'm very much not feeling a connection to the guy. Just like I don't feel any connection to Shiggy, who's supposed to be our primary rival of the game, or the Ogawara clan, which is supposed to be the force we're at war with in this game. Assassinate an enemy agent, huh? How are they going to make this job different from the many filler missions where we have to kill enemies that look exactly like her?
Mission にはすでにゴーダの地にも小川原の密偵が入り込んでいるとあった。小川原の手の者はゴーダの国境を預かる東堂という役人に目をつけ、料亭を隠れ蓑に接触を試みるつもりであるという。
So we're killing the middle woman to convince the traitor in our midst that it's a bad idea to betray us. I'm pretty sure with how frequently the Goda clan uses ninjas that such a warning for this guy isn't really going to have much of an effect. He's already committed to working against us for some reason. Either he's stupid or arrogant enough to feel the Goda would never send a ninja at him, or that he can stop any ninjas sent his way. Part of me would like to know what she was going to say to him. After all, we've got no clue why he decided to betray us for the Odawara clan. Maybe it's a simple matter of him wanting some more money via the drug trade? Perhaps he's one of those types that doesn't really like to work with people who skulk around in the dark stabbing people instead of fighting them directly. Unfortunately, we'll never get the answer because we know little to nothing about the Azuma or the Goda clans in this game. At least if we only take this game with its over 50 missions stuffed into it into account. As I probably said in a previous clip, the only game in the series that really does a good job of storytelling is Tenchu 2. One of the two games in the PlayStation 1 era. And to be fair, it's probably pretty damn annoying to do much in terms of storytelling and character development when a story has a completely player-created character like this game decided to. Still, I'm not asking for Dragon Age Origins levels of character writing. It's just pretty easy to see even when playing through this late entry in the series. One of the reasons it ended up just stopped going under production. The series didn't really want to advance forward in any way, shape, or form. They just kept spinning their wheels. And it's not like it had the immense success that the likes of an absolute juggernaut of a franchise like Pokemon to make up for the audience getting tired of things never actually advancing in any direction. It also doesn't have the never taking itself too seriously vibe I get from the Earth Defense Force series. Absolutely every Tenchu game takes itself seriously, and while there was a sense of improvement from the first to the second to the third, after that it was just wasting time and going, okay, we're going through this again. Nothing really added here. This was the 5th entry, and while there was a 6th and even a 7th, they flew so far under the radar for me that I didn't even know they existed until I did a Wikipedia search about the series. Hell, it's been quite a long time since I've heard this series even mentioned in discussions about current games, and that was back in 2019 when people thought that Sekiro's Shadows Die Twice was going to be a revival of the Tenchu series, instead of a Dark Souls with a Japanese coat of paint. It might have been more Tenchu-like back in the conceptual stage, or maybe even in the alpha. Bloody hell, just how many times have I been spotted in this mission so far? Anyway, I'm definitely not feeling especially badass in this one, despite the sheer number of bodies we're leaving all over the place. I suppose that means that this main story mission, which takes place in a location we've been to numerous times, does a few things differently than the throwaway padding missions. Unfortunately, 29 deployments into this game, and I'm not exactly doing it because it's drawn me in anymore. I'm continuing to push forward because it's done nothing to actively push me out of the experience. As a side note, what is even the point of staying at a corner if the enemy is still gonna see you despite not getting quite close enough for you to stab them from there? That just feels like bullshit to me. Good night, milady. For some reason I was expecting her to walk to the door, but I suppose we can't always get that kind of kill. Well, he might consider doubling down, since he now knows that we know who he's been talking to, and apparently being spotted 6 times doesn't mean we drop down from the Ninja 5 rating. Have I mentioned just how utterly forgiving this game feels in that respect? I'm pretty sure it would have left a larger hole in our defenses if he didn't die and kept working for the enemy. But then I'm under the impression I'm not supposed to think things through around here all that much. We are just a blunt instrument that is thrown into mission after mission for the sheer sake of making this game feel over a certain length.
密偵の調べによって城下に入り込んでいる小河原の忍びが隠れ蓑にしている寺が判明した。またその者はかなりの使い手だという。だが領内での勝手をこれ以上許すわけにはいかぬ。迅速に型をつけねばなるまい。
I'm afraid a ninja versus ninja mission in this game isn't going to feel like a battle of wits. It's going to be essentially the same as any other assassination mission. What? Not gonna give the guy a pose that implies he's praying before we attack him in the temple? Good God, just how much attention to detail could they have put into this game if they didn't give it over 50 missions overall? And just why is it that an enemy ninja that has regular samurai to guard him, like pretty much everyone else we've had to kill over the course of this game so far, is supposed to make us feel worried? This is our 30th time in the field. We are most definitely used to the controls by now. We can afford the enemy to doing some things that make the situation more difficult for us, and we can afford dealing with some higher quality foes. But then I suppose there isn't all that much point in changing the enemies up all that much, when the entire idea is to keep killing them when they have no chance to fight back. Oh, it's just a quick haircut. Don't worry. Nothing for you to be concerned about whatsoever. Again, we are spotted at the corner when the enemy isn't even close enough for us to do a corner kill. And that does not feel like it's because the enemy is overall more aware this many missions into the game. It feels like something completely unintentional from the game designers. And I wish I knew what the hell was causing us to be seen there. Well, despite being spotted, we're still doing a good job of clearing this section of the temple. I just wish that felt more like an accomplishment instead of just business as usual. But then it's probably damn near impossible to avoid things feeling like business as usual when we're 30 missions into the game and going through a map we've gone through plenty of times at this time of day. We are damn familiar with the terrain. We just don't know the exact layout of the enemies on patrol in this familiar area. But it's fairly easy to guess, considering the sheer number of times we've cleared things out around here. Wish I could feel amazed that the guy made us stumble as we tried to hit him both times there. Yeah, definitely doesn't feel in any way special that we assassinated this master ninja deployed by the enemy. This has just been another forgettable mission when we have one more to throw into this clip. Another greedy merchant mission. Granted, it's not another Echigoya, but still, they can't even be bothered to name the kill merchant missions anything other than kill the corrupt merchant. We have done this exact song and dance way too many times in this single game.
商人タルマヤ淵助表向きは善良な米問屋を装ってはいるがその裏ではヤクザ者や浪人へ不当に
I don't suppose we can disrupt the weapons trade without messing with the rice sales, can we? Oh right, that would be more nuance than we can handle in this game. We just need to go through mindless mission after mission around here, and no thought required. Why are you even bothering to giggle like that when several men with your same face have died over the course of this game? Bit of a screw-up for the first kill, but at least we had time to still get the assassination before he discovered us. Been a while since we had the last wall kill. Not getting that guy the same way. I've said it multiple times over the course of the game, but these enemies seem to be rather inconsistent with how observant they are. Again, I should not be confused about when the enemy is going to notice us when we're this many missions into the game. I should be very familiar with the enemy's limits, especially since we're fighting against the same sprites we've seen since the first mission of the game. I doubt the merchant is going to be outside of the walls, but it's still worth it to kill all the guards for the sake of it. After all, if we need to pull back for some reason to lose people, oof, it spotted us. It's great to not run into another group of enemies. Well, that and we gain more money the higher our score is, and we get more points for assassinating people. Not the merchant yet, but still satisfying to bring a door down like that. Take a nap, lady. And here's the man we came here for. That should do it for this clip. Wonder when things are gonna start feeling interesting around here again.